I don't think I'll be going to the zoo. I don't know. I like the zoo. It's okay, but I had some bad experiences there with my daddy. I remember one time I went to the zoo with Daddy. We standing there. Daddy's looking at this elephant, and it says, "Yeah, my daddy's a sick man. You gotta forgive me." But we're standing there looking at this elephant. Daddy looks at me and said, "Boy, can you imagine the hydraulics on that thing?" I said, "Daddy, please, Daddy, I don't want to." He said, "Well, just imagine. What do you think we're talking? 2 feet? 3 feet?" I said, "Daddy, I don't know." He said, "Well, you should know, boy. It's important that you care about animals." I said, "Yeah, I care about animals. I care about where they live, what they eat. I like to know their instincts." He said, "Well, I'll tell you one thing for sure. The instincts on that thing." I said, "Daddy, for crying out loud." He said, "Boy, I need to know." I said, "Why do you need to know, Daddy?" He said, "Because it's important." I said, "Daddy, the only thing important about knowing that is if you're going to be on the receiving end of it. I don't plan to be, so I don't care." He said, "Well, boy, if you ain't got an inquiring mind, that's your problem. But I can't. I want to know the length and breadth." I said, "Oh, give me a break." He said, "Boy, go ahead and ask the zookeeper." I said, "I ain't. What, you want me to go up to the zookeeper and say, 'Excuse me, sir, I'd like to ask you a question about the elephant. Could you tell me the amount of height?'" "What, are you crazy, Daddy? He'll think I'm nuts." He said, "Boy, well, I know you're nuts, so go up there and tell him." I said, "I ain't going up there." He said, "Well, boy, if you ain't going to ask for me, I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out for myself. I'm going to visually inspect." I said, "Daddy." Well, I said, "I've been looking, Daddy. I can't tell what it is." He said, "Well, of course you can't tell. Boy, he ain't fired up." Tell you what, go into the mammal cage there. I seen the man mopping the floor, and if he's done, grab that mop with the long handle on it. I said, "What are you going to do?" He said, "Just get the mop, boy." I went in there, and I got that mop, and I came out, and Daddy looked over his shoulder. He grabbed that mop, stuck it through the cage, and he started to give that elephant a little coochie goo. I said, "Daddy!" He said, "Come on there, elephant. What you got now? What you got?" He said, "Boy, stand back. We don't know how long." I said, "Daddy, for crying out loud, you are the sickest man I have ever seen in my whole life, and I am embarrassed to be here." He said, "Shut up, boy. You don't like it? Then get away." I said, "All right, I will get away, Daddy. I will get away." But when you know, I turned to walk away, and there's the zookeeper standing there with a policeman looking at Daddy with that long-handled mop sticking through the cage, tickling that elephant. Well, I froze. I just froze in my tracks. I knew I was going to be arrested as accomplice for something. And Daddy turned around, and he didn't bat an eye. I guess that's where I get my quick wit from, is my daddy. Because there's that policeman standing there. There's that zookeeper. There's Daddy red-handed with his mop in his hand, sticking right there at the elephant. The lawman looked at Daddy and said, "What the hell you think you're doing, mister?" Daddy just smiled and said, "Well, officer, I was just helping out. That elephant just had the nastiest BM I ever saw, and I thought I'd help him tidy himself up a little bit."